Hey there, interwebs, and welcome back to... Actually, let me check my notes. This was originally going to be part of Russell's Guide to Monsters, Part 8, but I cut it for time and being largely unrelated. Now it's become its own episode of How Fascinating instead. Tell me, how long is a centipede? Oh, about 100 feet. But seriously though, centi means 100, and pede comes from the Latin for foot, but no centipede has exactly 100 feet. Depending on a variety of factors, including species, geographic location, and gender, centipedes of the clade Epimorpha can have any number of legs between 30 and 382. Hang on, 100 is a number between 30 and 382, so how do we know there aren't any with 100 legs? It has to do with body layout. Centipedes have one pair of legs per body segment, but their segments grow in pairs, meaning they'll always have an odd number of body segments. One might have 49 segments with 98 legs, or 51 segments with 102 legs. It is theoretically possible to find one with 100 legs, but in the same way you might find a human with one. Centipedes can and will detach limbs that have been grabbed by a predator in order to escape, and some tropical species have been observed ejecting legs while being pursued. These cast-off limbs will continue to wriggle, hopefully distracting the predator and allowing the centipede to escape as the leg gets eaten. This isn't the only way a centipede might be caught a few feet short. Age also plays a factor. Some, but not all, species are anamorphic, in contrast to the epimorphic orders. While those belonging to Epimorpha are hatched with all the legs they'll ever have, those of Anamorpha gain additional segments and leg pairs as they molt. Mature adult house centipedes have 15 pairs of legs, but they hatch with only 4 and move up to 7, 9, and 11 before finally reaching 15. This means that prior to their first molt they have only 8 legs, which spiders must find very confusing. Spiders and centipedes have something else in common, too. Venom, but neither species has fangs. I'll give you a moment to recover your socks that I just blew off with that bombshell, but the gist is that fangs are special, modified teeth, and arthropods like spiders and centipedes don't have any bones, let alone teeth. Spider fangs are actually different mouthparts known as chelicerae, the same part of the anatomy as the scorpion's pincers. Centipede fangs are properly called prehensors or forpicules, and they're the frontmost pair of legs fully equipped with venom glands. Now when someone tells you they've been bitten by a centipede, you can pedantically correct them. Or just get the medical attention, you monster. So, how many legs does a millipede have? Well, milli as a prefix means 1,000, but unlike centipedes, there are no species of millipede which fully live up to their name. Elacme plenipes has legs for days and comes closest, with over 600 per capita on average. 750 is the record, not just for millipedes, but also as the highest number of legs belonging to any organism. I noticed something slightly odd about the leggy dame in this picture. She's walking over her own back, which raises an interesting math and physics problem. Get ready for Airplane on a Treadmill, Part 2. Say we have a millipede walking towards a wall as fast as her little legs can scoot, 1 centimeter per second, just for the sake of argument. When she reaches the wall, she turns around and walks back the way she came, over her own back. What speed is her head moving at, relative to the environment? If her back half is still walking towards the wall at 1 centimeter per second, it makes sense to say that her front half is moving away at the same speed, just like if you were to push or pull a bicycle chain around a U-turn. It can't be moving faster than that because she'd pull herself apart. Here's the catch, though. If her head is traveling away from the wall at 1 centimeter per second, and her tail is traveling towards it at 1 centimeter per second, that means her top half has to be walking over her bottom half at 2 centimeters per second, or twice her maximum speed. As soon as one pair of legs moves from the bottom to the top, it'd have to scurry twice as fast to move away from the wall. If you walk at the same speed as a treadmill, you don't go anywhere, and she is her own treadmill. What would need to happen is her head doesn't go anywhere until her whole back portion has cleared under her, and then she'd drop down to ground level and start moving again, all the while her back portion has been piling up behind her like a coiled rope. If you disagree, feel free to debate it amongst yourselves in the comments. As you might expect, centipedes and millipedes both belong to the same subphylum, Myriapoda, and myria is the Greek prefix for 10,000. A myriameter is an obsolete unit of measure equal to 10,000 meters, or 10 kilometers. A myriad itself once referred to a group of 10,000 things, note to self create D&D module called the Tomb of 10,000 Things, but these days a myriad just means a lot with no specific number implied. This has created a bit of an issue with how to use it in a sentence. You'll often hear people say something had a myriad of problems, for example, but others argue that myriad means 10,000, so if you replaced the word with the number you'd be saying something had a 10,000 of problems, and to bitch may or may not be at least one. The correct phrasing, they'll insist, is that something had a myriad problems, like you'd say a dozen, but thinking about it that's not much better, because you're saying a 10,000 problems. There's no simple correct answer, so my personal rule is to leave out the word of if I actually mean a set of 10,000, but if that's the case I'd just say 10,000. The rest of the time I just mean a lot, and I'd keep it in. So yeah, no complete centipedes have exactly 100 legs, no millipedes have 1,000 legs, and certainly no myriapods have 10,000 legs. What innumerate moron got left in charge of naming these things? And now for the part which connects it to my guide to monsters. Mega as a prefix can either mean a million, like a megawatt, or just really big, like a megalodon. The prehistoric shark would be even more terrifying if it actually had a million teeth. Would a megapod, therefore, have a million feet, or just really big ones? Millipede is the name of a centipede-esque video game published by Softtech for the ZX Spectrum, which would imply a many-footed creature. Animals of the same name also appear as antagonists in King Kong and D&D, and a multi-legged robot known as Millipede is a boss in Ratchet and Clank. Megapodes, or megapodes with an O, are also known as incubator birds and live in Australasia. Also endemic to the region are kangaroos, wallabies, and quokkas, which are all macropods, meaning large foot. So what should a megapede or megapod be? Again, debate it out in the comments. I just have one request. Can we please make the scientific name for Sasquatch Megapoda non-existy? Thanks for watching, and have a fascinating day.